This is the people's main event. They've been proclaiming this throughout the entirety of the buildup of the UFC Vegas 81 card. You know what I thought was hilarious, AJ? They asked Jonathan Martinez in the pre-fight presser, hey, they're asking pretty much all the Mexican fighters, don't you wish you fought on UFC Noche? And he was like, no, I didn't. I don't care. I don't think he cares where he fights, when he fights, who he fights. I think that he's just there to get a bag and get a win. And this is a fight that it's going to be difficult to do both. But if he can do it, AJ, you have to, for either one of these fighters, I think Jonathan Martinez, unfortunately, his name carries more weight in this one. So I don't think he gets as big of a boost if he beats Yanez, but this is a huge win if he can beat Yanez. And vice versa. If Yanez can beat Martinez, for both fighters' trajectories of their career, I think it just kind of skyrockets right here. Does it make you question, why are they lining this bout up at this time? Is the timing right for this matchup, I guess is the question.
I think the timing is right, Derek, because when I saw this matchup happen, I thought they fought previously. Like, I was like, didn't these guys square up before? No, they haven't. This is the time these young guns, we say young guns because they're somewhat not necessarily the biggest names in their division. But at that point, bro, these guys, I think, are lining up for the perfect moment. This is a win-win for both fighters, especially if this is a dog match, bro. If this is one of those fights, blood from all the way, we're sitting in the bloody waters, been at 1 minute 15. This is a win-win for both of them. I think it's going to skyrocket, the winner to wherever. And I do agree with you. I think Martinez has right now more the name power, the star power. But when we saw Adrian Yanez with that Tony Kelly knockout coming in, absolutely putting damage, if he's able to do that, he's going to make impacts, man, make big waves in the division. I think it's going to be, like you said, Derek, the people's main event. This one's going to be a fun one.
100%. And I'll tell you one thing that you can't do as a fan, especially, you can't look at Adrian Yanez and say, oh, you got knocked out in your last fight. You're not the guy we thought you were. That you can't do that. That's not a fair assessment whatsoever. He fought Rob Font, dude. Like, that's the thing. We thought Rob was washed, right? Oh, Yanez is going to come in, starch him. It's what happens when you fight a hungry vet who's only lost to the best of the best. Jonathan Martinez, on the other hand, I would say a lot of people are really high on him, but to some degree, you kind of gotta narrow it down, because I was in the camp that says I thought Said Nurmagomedov won that fight that he had last, right? I was in the camp of Nurmagomedov there. Got the nasty big win against Cub Swanson. A couple other decisions, man. The Lazishvili, Alejandro Perez, Vince Morales. Listen, we don't need to go down the resume tape, but the point is, his win streak, though it looked beautiful on paper, it's a touch questionable. But let's now break down the X's and O's, man. Is this as classic of a matchup as kickboxer willing to utilize all the different parts of the body, Chris Gutierrez, El Guapo style, versus straight up boxer, Adrian Yanez, let's square him up, let me get in your face, put pressure on you, and try to knock you out? Is it as simple as that, or is this matchup a little more complex?
I can see where, those correlations are made, Derek, but no, I don't think it's as simple as that. Because, Adrian Yanez, very crisp boxer, very clean, but we saw him get outboxed by Rob Font, who is arguably one of the best boxers in the game right now. So it's hard to really compare that. But yes, right, the boxing is going to be crisp of Yanez, and as well as the kickboxing, the striking, the kicks that are going to be coming out of the Martinez camp are there. So I can see the correlations. But when it actually, when the dust settles, when they're going toe-to-toe, when the ring doors close, I think this is going to be a lot more intricate of a match that has to go down. I'm expecting washing machine. I'm expecting crazy attempts at certain things, spinning shit, submissions out of everywhere, every which corner we can see. The thing is, though, I think this is going to come down to a dog match, Derek. Who's the bigger dog in there? And for me, honestly, I'm a big Martinez fan. I'm a Yanez fan as well. While I was watching this, I thought, Martinez is the bigger dog in there. He's going to, have more heart. He's going to be pushing the pace. But then I started watching, man. Yanez is very hard to discount in that fact. And I think when the chips are down, Yanez is going to be the guy standing tall. We'll see, Derek. What do you think? Is that a fair assessment, or you see it in opposite direction?
No, I think you're 100% right about that. I think that Yanez is the bigger dog. And the reason why is because we've seen him suffer adversity and come back. Now, did he in his last fight? No, but we've seen it before. Jonathan Martinez, on the other hand, I think he's a dog in his own way, but he's more of that stone cold machine killer right there. That's more of the mold that I see him in. Now, what does it mean to you when Adrian Yanez immediately, how would you say, he observed, that's maybe not the right word, but he was all like, oh yeah, calf kicks, Jonathan Martinez, dangerous. Yeah, we're going to have to stay away from that. Well, good thing I'm working with the top-notch Muay Thai coach, so I'm covering my bases right here. When they immediately acknowledge, that's the word that I wanted to use, when they acknowledge some of the most dangerous aspects of Martinez being his brutal kicks, how much does that get into the psyche of you as a bettor to say, okay, well, if he's aware of it, he's probably going to come for it, but maybe we're not going to get the typical Adrian Yanez performance that we get. Because if he goes heavy on that front leg boxing style, you're going to get your leg chewed up. You're going to get Cup Swansoned. So how much pause does that give you?
It worries me a lot, Derek, especially at the beginning of the fight. When you're still thinking about it, you're fresh about it. I forget the exact name of the term, but when you think of a red Lamborghini, you know you want a red Lamborghini. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you got a tax collector on your back. That's everything you can think about. That's the same kind of concept right here for Yanez. Don't think about the leg kick. I got to avoid the leg kick. Next thing you know, leg kick hits, and you're like, oh, shit. Then you start thinking more and more about that leg kick. Got to avoid it. Bam, another one comes your way. That's what worries me in this fight, especially once they're fresh. But once the fight really starts going, once the mix-up comes, the adrenaline's kind of gone now. Now you're fighting using all your tacks and everything. That's where I think Yanez is going to find his best route to victory, avoiding that kind of thing, making it his style of fight. But it does worry me, folks, and just for full transparency, I've been back and forth on these picks 10 times. Martinez can win this one multitude of ways. Yanez can win this one multitude of ways. That's what makes it a very fun fight to watch. Although for the betting, Derek, you can see it's minus 110 apiece. This is a pick 'em. This is a close one right here.
So yes, this opened as a pick 'em. There's been a lot of line movement. I've been following this one pretty carefully. So at one point, it swelled as much. I think it was Jonathan Martinez, like minus 115, minus 120. Adrian Yanez touch on plus money, like plus 105. Currently, live odds, minus 115. Martinez, minus 105 for Adrian Yanez. So this is basically a coin toss, and that's how I see this fight as well. It really depends on what style they're going to come across. And once again, Jonathan Martinez is one of those guys where it's just really difficult to count him out, because we saw him against the wrestler. He was able to defend the takedowns and still do his work. We're going to see him against another striker. I would say Jonathan Martinez has a better resume than Adrian Yanez, but Yanez is special, and we all know that. I think we all can very, very easily tell that. So is there any prop that you like in this one, or is this so much of a coin toss you just say, go with the money line and hope for the best?
Woo! If you're putting money on this one, folks, I'm saying go with that money line just to be a little safe. But if you're feeling a little juicy, you're feeling a little risky, I like that plus 185 TKO for the Yanez corner.
Yep, and then I can never be mad at a Jonathan Martinez decision victory, because he seems to be able to squeak those ones out pretty thoroughly. Once again, I do want to see how those leg kicks and body kicks come into effect. This is a southpaw striker in Jonathan Martinez versus an orthodox striker in Adrian Yanez. So ultimately, all that means in the grand scheme of things is that somebody's liver is going to be open, and it will be Adrian Yanez's. This is going to be such a fun fight, folks. So tune in, banger alert. I like Martinez. Adrian is in the Yanez camp. Happy hunting.